Lake Superior Life Care and Hospice provides compassionate medical care for those facing a life-limiting illness. Hospice services focus on helping patients and families live comfortably for as long as possible. Hospice is a team-oriented approach that includes professional medical, social, emotional, and spiritual support during this difficult time. This educational series will cover a variety of topics related to the various roles of a hospice interdisciplinary team. Bereavement.
Hi, my name is Lisa Martela, and I'm the Bereavement Coordinator at Lake Superior Life Care and Hospice. Bereavement and grief counseling start at the beginning of hospice. When someone comes into our services, that's a component. I'm a member of the team. Grief frequently starts with a diagnosis. There's a change from active treatment to active life is the way we kind of like to look at it. Up until this point, you've been treating your disease. Now you're going to start living your life. But with that comes changes, and with change brings grief. So we help the families and the person in hospice walk through that journey as those feelings come up. Sometimes they come up in a big way, and sometimes they don't, but we're available to stand alongside of them as that develops. Bereavement services are primarily for the loved ones after the death. We incorporate face-to-face visits to discuss grief, help support. We also provide telephone calls, check-in calls. Not everyone wants to do face-to-face. We also have grief support groups. We also have a memorial service that we do twice a year to help people honor their loved ones and allow us to come back together and to grieve as a community. Our hospice is primarily a team approach. We have the nurses, social workers, myself, our spiritual care. Everyone has an integral part and a role to play with our patients. Nurses primarily physical, social work, a lot of connecting people to resources that they need in the community, bereavement, exploring grief, stress reactions, that type of thing. Spiritual care kind of encompasses everything, brings it all together. We all overlap. We all have, a specialty area. But we're all assessing and working with the patient and family, and if we see something that comes up that another discipline can handle more specifically, then we bring it to their attention. So we have a real good team approach. The one thing that I would like the community to come away with and to know about hospice care is it's not about dying. It's about living the remainder of your life. Once you decide that you no longer want to pursue active treatment, how do you live your final days, enjoying them with your family, dealing with things that you want to deal with, making memories, honoring and loving each other. It's an incredible service. It's in my heart. I really believe in it. Yes, it's not all about grief and dying. It's about living. But it does touch on grief, and it normalizes grief, and it normalizes loss. Hospice allows you to live your life and in some small way prepare for your death and prepare your family and say what you need to say and do what's left undone. And that's a real gift. We can be there to support you because it's not an easy journey, and it helps to have someone to normalize it and to validate it, because in our society we kind of shy away from that, and we tuck that in the corner, and it's not something that we want to talk about, but it is so normal and it is so part of us, and it helps people afterwards when they have been able to be involved and making memories and honoring each other and loving each other. It doesn't make it any easier, but at times it can make it more manageable. And I've had people frequently tell me afterwards, being the bereavement coordinator, that I follow up with them up to a year and longer, that we're so glad that we had hospice, and we wish we would have introduced hospice into our home earlier. It's just the extra support. It's just to be able to call someone and say, is this normal? I'm feeling this way, to have someone be there that's not in the situation to let let you know that it's okay. The one thing as a bereavement coordinator that I try to impress on people is grief is normal. In our society, we don't talk about it. We get 3 days bereavement leave from work, and then things are supposed to be business as usual, and it's nothing like business as usual. You've lost a loved one. Your life is altered, and we need support to build back up from that, and we need a safe place to do that. We need a nurturing place to do that. And as a bereavement coordinator, I get to be a part of that. I get to walk with people as they make new relationship with their loved one, because the person passes away, the relationship and the love never leave. Definitely, this is so much more than a job. People ask me what I do for work, and I have a difficult time saying it's work. I get an opportunity to be with people when they're at their most vulnerable, when they are, everything else is, all the other stuff is just kind of stripped away, and they're down to what's real and what's important. And they invite us into their homes and into their lives during this time, and that is an honor. And to be able to walk alongside of them and support them while they go through these kind of transitions and these kind of changes is incredible.